There is a line you can put your finger on. It runs through the dirt beneath North America. A thin, dark band in the soil, no thicker than your hand. Dig down to it, and everything below is one world. Dig up from it, and that world is gone. Below the line, mammoths, saber-toothed cats, giant sloths taller than a man, dire wolves, camels and horses on the American plains, and the people who hunted them. Above the line, none of it. The animals are gone. The hunters are gone. A whole living world switched off at a single stroke. That line marks a moment, around 12,800 years ago, when the planet did something it was not supposed to do. The Ice Age was ending. The world was warming. And then, almost overnight, it plunged back into the cold and stayed frozen for more than 1,000 years. We know it happened. We can read it in ice, in ocean mud, in that black line in the ground. What we cannot agree on is why, and that argument has become one of the strangest, most bitter mysteries in all of science. Start with what is not in doubt, because it is astonishing enough on its own. Scientists call this cold spell the Younger Dryas, named after a little Arctic flower that spread south as the chill returned. It began roughly 12,800 years ago, and it did not creep in gently. Locked inside the Greenland ice sheet, layer by frozen layer, is a thermometer going back tens of thousands of years. It records the temperature over Greenland, falling by as much as 9 degrees Celsius, and staying there for about 1,100 years. Then, at the end, something even stranger. The ice shows the world warming back up by up to 10 degrees in the space of a single human lifetime. A decade. The climate did not turn a dial. It threw a switch, twice. And underneath it all is that dark band which geologists call the black mat. It has been found at dozens of sites across North America, and it marks the same grim boundary everywhere. Beneath it lie the bones of the great Ice Age animals and the elegant stone spear points of the Clovis people, the first culture to spread across the continent. Above it, nothing. No mammoths, no Clovis points, as if a door had closed. So this much is real. The freeze happened, the giants died, a way of life ended and left its outline pressed into the earth. The only question, the question people have nearly ended careers over, is what pulled the trigger. In 2007, a group of scientists offered an answer that sounded like the plot of a disaster film. They proposed that the Earth was hit, that a comet or asteroid broke apart and burst over the North American ice sheet, raining fire and blasting the climate into chaos. It sounds wild, but they did not arrive empty-handed. Directly beneath the black mat, at that exact moment in time, they reported a thin layer stuffed with strange things, tiny glassy spheres, formed by melting at enormous temperatures. Microscopic diamonds, the kind that can form in the shock of an impact. Melted glass, soot on a continental scale, as though half a landscape had burned at once, and their crown jewel, platinum. Deep in the Greenland ice, at the start of the Younger Dryas, there is a sharp spike of platinum, a metal that is rare in the Earth's crust, but far more common in the rock that falls from space. To the impact team, that spike was a fingerprint. Something extraterrestrial had touched the planet, right here, right when the cold came down. Over the years that followed, other researchers reported finding the same telltale grains at sites scattered across the world. One survey counted hundreds of scientific papers on the idea. What began as a fringe suggestion had become, to its supporters, a serious rival to everything the textbooks said. A cosmic accident, they argued, had reset the story of life on Earth, and if it could reshape the animal kingdom, Could it also have erased something of ours? Because here is where the mystery grows a second head. In the hills of southern Turkey stands a place called Göbekli Tepe. Great T-shaped pillars of stone, some 5 meters tall, carved with foxes, snakes, vultures and scorpions, arranged in rings by people who had no metal, no pottery, no writing. And it is old, almost 11,600 years old, older than Stonehenge by 6,000 years, older than the first cities, the first farms, the first written word. Its very existence forced archaeologists to admit that we had underestimated the people of the deep past. One carved slab in particular, known as the Vulture Stone, has become famous. A handful of researchers argued that its animals are not decoration at all, but a sky map, a memorial to a swarm of comet fragments striking the Earth. A date, they say, carved in stone, pointing back to the very start of the Younger Dryas. From here, some go further still. What if, they ask, there was already a civilization when the sky fell? An advanced people, wiped out by the cataclysm, their memory reduced to legends of a great flood and a lost golden age. What if Göbekli Tepe was not a beginning, but the work of survivors, rebuilding after the end of their world? It is a haunting idea, and you should feel its pull before we turn, honestly, to test it, because that is exactly where this story stops being a movie and turns back into science. Start with the crown jewel, the platinum. For years, it was the impact hypothesis's strongest card, but in 2026, a new study looked again and found something awkward. The chemistry of that platinum, they argued, does not match the dust of a comet. It matches a volcano, and worse for the impact story, the spike seems to arrive decades after the cooling had already begun. Too late to be the cause. Their candidate is not the sky, but the Earth itself, a cluster of huge volcanic eruptions, poisoning the air and chilling the world. Then there is the missing scar. An impact big enough to freeze a hemisphere should leave a crater, and for a while, people thought they had found one, buried under the Greenland ice. But when it was finally dated, the Hiawatha crater turned out to be 58 million years old. It had nothing to do with the Younger Dryas at all. There is an older, quieter explanation too, one that needs no catastrophe. As the ice sheets melted, they filled vast lakes with cold, fresh water. When one of those lakes burst its banks and flooded into the North Atlantic, it could have jammed the great ocean current that carries warmth north. The same conveyor that keeps Europe mild today. Switch off that current and the north freezes. No comet required. And the lost civilization? Here the ground is softest. Göbekli Tepe, remarkable as it is, was built nearer the end of the Younger Dryas than its beginning, roughly 1,000 years after the disaster it is supposed to record. And in 2025, a flagship paper claiming an ancient city was destroyed by a cosmic airburst was retracted, its data found to be manipulated. The Earth kept careful receipts for the freeze. For a forgotten empire, it has handed us almost nothing. So where does that leave us, standing over that dark line in the ground? With one certainty and a real mystery. The certainty is the event itself. 12,800 years ago, the world froze hard and fast. The great beasts fell, and a human world ended. Nothing about that is in question. The mystery is the cause, and it is genuinely open. A comet that left its dust, but no crater. A chain of volcanoes that may have hijacked the impact's best evidence. A flood of meltwater that quietly strangled an ocean current. Serious people looking at the same clues still disagree. The lost civilization is the boldest claim and the thinnest, a wonderful story the hard evidence has not yet earned. But the freeze is real, the line is real, and somewhere in the ice and the mud, the answer is still waiting to be read correctly. A comet, a volcano, or a flood. 3 ways to end an age. Look at the same evidence we just did. Which one convinces you? And that is where I will leave it. The rest is yours to weigh. And if there is a mystery you would love to see untangled, tell me. Until the next one.